Alright, this is the second attempt of the video actually. I recorded the first one, half an hour long video, and only after I downloaded it on YouTube, I noticed that it has no sound entirely. So I just wasted an hour of my own time. Let's start from the scratch. Well, I wanted to talk about what is casual gaming, what I believe is a casual gaming, and how anyone can find, the joy of gaming to himself. And why do I think gaming is not all about video games? Well, let's begin. It's 2024, and gaming culture has been around for some time already. Many people regularly play games of some sorts, and it isn't the marker of immaturity, a sign of grown people, mature people, even though some old timers still see it as a little bit silly kind of time investment. Well, what I believe is it is a great way to spend your time. It is a great way to spend your time in family, with friends, especially with friends, and find some new friends. I believe gaming is a very healthy habit, and it could prove very good to many people psychological state. And also, what I believe that some of us could be a bit square at times, and what I mean by that is they can deny themselves the pleasure of a friend's company, not intent. They can deny that pleasure because they believe that they can use their time more efficiently. They can do better at school, better at their job, at family, chores, anything really. You can always find reason why you are slacking, and nobody wants to be a slacker. Well, nobody in their mind at least. And yeah, gaming can be seen as a big time investment. That is for certain. But it shouldn't be this way. Gaming could be a little simple activity. You can find a lot of joy in a simple gaming, and it could be really beneficial to anyone, I believe. The beauty of the modern gaming that it is inclusive. Pretty much anyone from any taste and background can find some game to play. Any game really, um, just to your own taste, and you would be good to go. As you play and connect with other players, you can discover other games for yourself, new challenges, or even the cozy places of comfort, depending on your preference and situation. What I mean is, some of us really crave a good challenge. They crave a feeling of pressure in their free time, or there are other peoples who like comfort and coziness and simplicity of situation. Um, no matter if you're one or the other, or some at the one times you're one and the other times you're the other, um, any one of us is different, and any one of us can find a game for yourself. So, what kind of games there are? Well, there are of course video games. Video games are a huge chunk of gaming culture nowadays. You play them on PC, personal computer, my personal preference. You can play on home gaming consoles such as PlayStation or Xbox. But you can play games casually, not necessarily on gaming device. You can play it on your phone. Alright, I have an iPhone XR, and it isn't, it's a little bit dated considering modern standards, but it can give me everything I want, really. I play Tetris on the phone, so it is a gaming. It is a gaming. Tetris is gaming. Well, the other kinds of gamings that are you can mention as casual is gambling. Gambling is casual gaming, all right, but I don't believe it's a healthy habit. So I personally don't recommend it. But I can see why some people may found their joy and fun in this experience. Sports. Sports is most of the time it's physical. Yeah, it's competitive, but it is most certainly gaming because you're playing the sports game, and that's about it. If it wouldn't be fun, it wouldn't be enjoyable to watch and compete, and the game wouldn't exist without the gaming aspect of the game, right? It's not all about just physical thing or the rules lawyering. It's about complexity of the games that there are, and of course tabletop games. Tabletop games are huge nowadays. They have been huge for some time. And they are my personal favorite if you want to get into the casual gaming. So now I think I shall speak more about personal preferences, what I may give you as advice if you want to start up as a casual gamer. Well, as I spoke before, on my phone I play Tetris. Also, I have been playing for quite some time, for many years, Plague Inc. Plague Inc. is a game where you play as the bacteria or a virus, so it doesn't matter, the disease. You play as the disease as it's going to wipe out the whole planet Earth of its human residents. So your objective is to annihilate Earth population. The game went huge when the COVID broke out in 2020, and they specifically made healing mode when you try to heal such a big catastrophe of a disease. Very mindful of them. Well, it is a cheap, maybe even free game, and it was a lot of fun for a long time. Also, I have Max Payne and Minecraft on my phone if I want to spend more time on the phone. But I usually don't spend that much time on the phone. I usually just watch, look at the pictures on Instagram, some memes, and that's about it. Maybe YouTube. Well, in terms of gambling, I don't recommend gambling, but I understand it, and I think the most healthy way of gambling is the poker with your friend. Good old Texas Hold'em set of rules. It's easy to understand, easy to have fun, and with low stakes in the company of friends, it could be very tense in a good way. When there are a couple of papers on the table, everybody starts to look very, very serious. The greed kicks in, and the greeds can motivate you to have a very deep and interesting game. So it could be fun. But in terms of most of the times, most of the ways of the gambling, I personally don't like it. Anyway, sports. I personally like table tennis. I have enjoyed it lately. I have discovered it, uh, well, about last couple of years. Well, truly discovered it. I played it since childhood, but never enjoyed it. And I think it's a great game in any kind of environment. You can play it with a child, you can play it with a grown up, you can play it with the person of the opposite sex. It doesn't really matter, really. Most of the times, it would be a fair kind of competition. And also, if you play sports, 1v1 kind of sports, right? When it's only you on one side and the other side is the opponent, it means you can't blame your losses on your teammates. Your victories are only yours, and that's good for me. I really like that in sports. So, anyway, in terms of sports, if you have an interest, any kind of interest, maybe you have played volleyball in school or basketball, doesn't matter, but you have very uh, difficult life, or just a lot of work, never really tried it, and live in an environment when you don't know who to ask, where to start. I think the best way to start is to look at the local sports center where the games are held. Uh, I think it's not rare to see some amateur clubs or amateur leagues that promote sports as the hobby and nothing else. And There's a lot of those communities if you look around. So I hope you do if you have an interest, because sports is a very healthy habit. Anyway, as we talked about previous things, we can talk about tabletop games. There are different kinds of tabletop games. Well, my go to in the situation if you are just starting out in a hobby is a simple party games. Uh, they are cheap usually. Usually they are cheap, and they can really bring wholesomeness and fun into a new company, into a collective group of people where you have a new person, someone you have joining, and he can relax in this atmosphere, and you can get to know each other better. Uh, Tabletop gaming can provide that for you. But it doesn't have to be that simple. If you like war games like Warhammer, it's fine. If you like collectible card games like Magic the Gathering or Pokemon, that's good too. Now, I personally am a big fan of tabletop RPGs like Dungeons and Dragons and such. They are my thing. That is my kind of drug. Anyway, if we talk about PC games, I will talk specifically about PC gaming because it is the most explored kind of gaming for me. If you have never played on a PC, what can I recommend to you? If you're a simple guy, if you like to see the things die around you, you like you just want to shoot something, like and first-person shooters is the genre for you. It's a genre for just any, you know, simple guy. And from my perspective, I think the best entry point is the same entry point that I had. It's Serious Sam. The first game, well, I like the first game, and HD remake was very good, but it doesn't have to be the first game. Uh, and Quake 3 Arena. It doesn't have to be Quake 3 Arena either. There are more modern takes on Quake. It just have to be simple kind of deathmatch game. Uh, there are a lot of those kinds of games, deathmatch modes in a lot of games. In Overwatch, there's a death match mode, therefore you should try it. But I think Quake is the simplest game to understand because uh, it's so fast there, it's nothing, not to understand. You just go, grab a gun, shoot. Go, grab a gun, shoot. And you can play with anybody, and you always have fun. Except when, there is someone who ruins the fun for everybody, but, those things can happen. They can happen. If you want more in-depth experience and you RPG savvy, yeah, you can play good old Skyrim. The Elder Scrolls Skyrim is not the best game, that's for certain. It's certainly a dated game, but it looks good. And as an action RPG, it can provide you with a good experience. It's not very replayable because as you play it second time, you understand that there is not much in terms of diverse story routes. But your first time, as you will conquer it, will be very good, very magical. A lot of adventures to be had, a lot of builds to try. I suggest you try it. Also, if you don't really need the action, but you're really invested in the role playing aspect of the game and the kind of choices it can provide to you, the ability to impact the story, you should try Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 is amazing. Even though it wasn't a game for me, I played it about 2 hours on the start, and then I abandoned it because I was afraid of how much of a time sink it would be, and it scratches the itch that I scratch by tabletop RPG. Yeah, I run games of Dungeons and Dragons and such. Well, Starfinder more specifically, and there's just no need for me to play Baldur's Gate, but I understand why people love it. It's good. There was a lot of love put into it. Or if you are an anime fan, you can always play Persona 5. Persona 5 is a modern masterpiece in terms of Japanese turn based RPGs. It is beautiful, it sounds magnificent, it has mm, let's say 9 out of 10 story. There is a lot of bullshit, but there is so much good things that you don't have to, look into the bullshit, right? You don't have to spoil yourself the experience. It's good. It's really good. So, if you're an anime fan, I think you might enjoy it. If you don't know what you want to try, if you don't want where to start at all, you can always plug in the Grand Theft Auto game, no matter which. I'm personally the fan of Vice City, but it is quite old if you think about it. But GTA 5 goes fine, and no matter who you put in front of the screen, it will, find their own fun. If they like to kick the pedestrians in the face, they can do that. If they want to steal someone's car, they can do that. If they want to spend a couple of hours thinking of what haircut they want, they can, of course, they can do it. And the story missions and the action. Some people really have fun driving the taxis, as driving a cab as a mini game. Everybody has their own fun, so that's why Grand Theft Auto is good. Minecraft could be good for kids, but modern Minecraft became more complex, so I don't have much of a take on it. But a good sandbox game is the game of Sims. Sims 4 is the latest one in the series. From reliable sources, I can say that it is good. I haven't played it yet, yeah, for many years, just because there was no point. I have Sims 3, and Sims 3 is a very good game. Sims 3 is a very deep game, a lot of game mechanics, and it is very much liked by females, by the girls. The girls like Sims a lot, and it is also fun for boys too, because you can do a lot in this game. It's like if you have an aquarium, but it is an aquarium of virtual people. You can put them in all sorts of life situations. You can build a dynasty or ruin it. You can build someone's career, or just make him spend his time on some needless stuff. You can do whatever you want, and that's the beauty of the gaming for me, the freedom to do what you want. Some people want to have some absolutely simple fun. That is very understandable, of course. To you, I may recommend Hotline Miami, my personal favorite in terms of what it's do. Right? There's not much in that department in terms of gaming, sadly, at least lately. But it is a beautiful game, and if you don't want to think and just play, it is a good game. If you want to look around what was really happening in terms of story, in terms of aesthetics, in terms of music, really, you can revisit Hotline Miami over and over, and you will find a lot for yourself. It is great. Hotline Miami 2 is my favorite, but you should start with Hotline Miami 1. It is easier, and it is better for the newcomers. Also, some racing simulators could be good for the beginners. I could recommend Flat Out 2, the simplest one and the most fun. It can be run on pretty much any machine. I had it on my PSP. It was good. Rocket League, even though it is not a racing game, it is a fun competitive game. Just developers just said, what would happen if we would stuck a rocket engine to the machine, to the car, I mean, to the automobile, and put three automobiles on one team and three on the other, and let them play soccer in the cage. It's simple, and yet it's beautiful. It works, and that's why I will come back to the game time and time again. And of course, Devil May Cry 5 as the slasher, where you do a lot of killings. It could be played without looking at the story, but the story is quite nice actually. So if you just want to crush a lot of demons on your path while making sleazy remarks, it is most certainly the game for you. And some people, non-gamers, can also notice a lot of story-driven games where you play as the game, and it is so adventurous and action-packed that it can feel like a movie. So there are games like that, and my personal recommendation for deep story and action is Mass Effect trilogy. It is good in terms of action. It is good in terms of gameplay, mostly, and it has a story which you can impact in a lot of fun ways. It is very good for completing more than once. You can see a lot of things on your second playthrough which you didn't notice on your first, and it is a very action-packed trilogy. Now, three games, and all of them could provide you with a lot of enjoyment, especially since the story moves flawlessly from one game to the next. By the way, Mass Effect Andromeda didn't happen, so I won't talk about it. Max Payne 3 is another example. It is what some guys would want out of John Wick shooter. Some of us can watch new movie of John Wick and think, man, what if there was a game that could provide you with that kind of fun and enjoyment? And for me, that game is Max Payne, where you can shoot very technical shots around 10 and 12 opponents, and if you're skilled enough, it is beautiful. It looks beautiful, and it feels very rewarding. And story is real good. Very well written, dialogues and script overall. And if you are a fan of Japan, not necessarily anime, I advise you to try Yakuza 0, because it can provide you with a deep story. Somewhat weird at times, but it most certainly eye-catching, and it has a soul, and that's what matters. Also, Yakuza games are good because they don't take themselves very seriously, and in between story missions, between um, content, you can enjoy the game the way you want to. You can spend your time at karaoke, you can go bowling, you can do anything in this game. You can help the guy to find his pants, and a lot of weird things and fun things happen in this game. It is a very fun game, and that's what I respect it for. Very deep. And of course, for the thinking people, the cream of the crop PC gamers, the strategy enthusiast. I think the good entry point would be Warcraft 3. Even though Blizzard hate Warcraft 3 and spit out a terrible Reforged client, which crashes pretty regularly. I think Warcraft 3 still holds out today as the best RTS there is. Even though I never was good at it. I never was good at the game, but this is the game in which it is very, very enjoyable to watch as other people compete. The esports of Warcraft 3 can be very eye-catching to me. Also, of course, the classic Heroes of Might and Magic 3. as a slave, I play this game since I was a child, but on the modern age, it's easy to explore the game for yourself. Actually, um, you can look over on the internet where to find correct copy. Slap a little bit of graphics mods on them so it won't crash on the modern machines and provide you with quality of life changes, and you're good to go. There is a good story, there is a good gameplay. The gameplay can keep you for hours, not just hours, like thousands of hours. If there was one video game that I could have in deserted island with friends, I would take Heroes of Might and Magic 3, no doubt, because I can just play it forever. Um, it really is good. And modern Heroes of Might and Magic, and by that I mean Horn of the Abyss mod, is also very creative and very deserving of attention. And of course, Civilization games. Civilization 6 is the latest one in the series. Civilization 7 will come out in a couple of months, but before that, Civilization 6 is what we get, and what we get is very, very good. Uh, it isn't fit for competitive gaming because of a lot of RNG moments, random moments where you have no control of the game. But in the company of friends, it is very, very good. Probably one of my most favorite games on the PC overall. I spent about 800 hours on the Civilization 5, and those were the good times, man. This is the good game, and I think it is very easy to learn the genre through it. The developers have made very helpful tutorials. And that's about it. That's about it. I I'm not sure how much, how many of people really do uh, need help in that kind of situation, right? Where they need help recommending a starting point and they want to get deeper into the gaming culture, the gaming phenomenon. But I believe that anybody should have a go. Anybody should try, and pretty much everybody can have a good time. In you know, if they found their game and their company, and I did. I just did. If you have watched till the end, thank you. It means a lot to me. Since I ramble a bunch of somewhat random thoughts here, I know that I might sound somewhat confusing. Therefore, I personally ask you to leave a comment, um, any sort of the comment. I might elaborate on some topics deeper if there is an interest in them, or think of an idea for the next, ramble video, or something even better. Um, I will do my best to answer to any comment, even if it's dumb or insulting. I don't care. I just, I love my haters, and I most certainly love my viewers. Hope to see you soon. Bye bye.